tuning in to the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
This week is what we like to call the Raw Rematch edition of SmackDown. And we're going to talk about it for you live on AfterBuzz TV. You're watching live on AfterBuzzTV.com, the YouTube AfterBuzz page. You're also listening on iTunes and SoundCloud. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you give those 5 stars, you tell your friends. We got to talk some SmackDown. Welcome, everybody. I'm Christian Rosenberg. Follow me on Twitter at Real Rosenberg, Instagram at The Real Rosenberg. These very, very gorgeous, handsome, breathtaking t-shirts you can find at ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg. Joining me this week at Curtain Jerks with also a very cool t-shirt on.
Aww.
It's Scott Narver.
Thank you.
What is it? It's a Jim Ross t-shirt.
Yeah, I went to an evening with Jim Ross when I was in Philadelphia for the Royal Rumble.
I'm extremely jealous of you. I did not know you did that.
I did do that. I didn't have an evening with Jim Ross. There was several gentlemen there, a couple of ladies, and they were all there for the show. And yeah, you could go do the meet and greet afterwards and buy the shirts and buy the sauce and all that stuff. It was a fun show.
And by the way, chat roll already going nuts that you're clean shaven.
Are they?
That's what it was.
You couldn't figure it out?
Couldn't put my finger on it.
The goatee's gone.
Thanks, YouTubers.
Along with the sideburns and connectors.
Yeah.
It was a full beard.
It was a full beard.
It's gone. It's in Sebastopol if you want to go get it.
All right. It's resting with Jey Uso right now.
Did a woman make you do that?
She easily could, but no.
Isn't that when guys shave the facial hair? Isn't that usually the reason?
It was done on my own volition.
All right. Well, I am Christy Olson.
I didn't get to intro you. I was about to, but hey, at Chris Reports, it's Christy Olson.
Okay, I won't say what I was going to say.
You say what you want to say.
Anyway.
Say what you want to
I'm
say.
Here. Ready to talk about all these brawls that went down this evening.
There was a lot of chaotic brawls tonight on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Like, a lot more than normal.
Yeah.
We start the show off with the Wyatts, and Bray's in the ring talking about how Roman Reigns is cursed, and he's infected with the desire to become the one. And it's a modern-day Hatfield versus McCoy's. I don't think many people who watch WWE know the Hatfield-McCoy thing.
Who high
school social studies.
Yeah, but they can Google it.
They can. And maybe
and they
give them
probably did.
Yeah, they Google it right after Submission Sorority. And, they decide what they want to explore more of. I'm for the Hatfield and McCoys. Because I'm classy.
Safe for work.
Yes, exactly. That one's pretty safe for work. And Bray's talking about how it doesn't matter if there's 2 of you, 3 of you, or 879 of you.
It took him a second to come up with that number.
Yeah, he was just picking a random number.
No.
He said, you will all fall, and he gives warning to Jimmy Uso, who tonight is teaming with Ambrose and Reigns against New Day. And he's letting him know, he's like, hey, don't get involved where you shouldn't get involved. And that's how the opening segment ends for SmackDown. Another creepy promo, foreshadowing for later on. This is the type of promo that should start a show.
Right.
It's talking about different things leading up. It's building up for a big pay-per-view match. And there are still question marks involved in it as far as who is going to be the third member of the team with Reigns and Ambrose. On Raw, as soon as they started doing all that stuff, my mind was like, all right, it's going to be Orton now. But now they're talking about it, I was like, well, it's not going to be Orton because they just destroyed him. Who's it going to be?
Yeah. So you thought it was going to be Orton. I was like, oh, that's clearly the case. And then, well, I don't want to say what happens later in the show, but it doesn't seem as clear as it might be.
Right.
because they're on a tear.
They're destroying everyone.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually trying to surprise us for once.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a very good thing.
But you know a surprise that is not necessarily a good thing? It's when you're setting up your fantasy football team. Do you like
Right.
that segue? Setting up a fantasy football team, you're all set, and then all of a sudden, first play in the game, you have a few players get injured. And you're like, now my team's ruined. I can't do anything about it. What am I going to do?
Life over.
Just give up. Just
Hey.
stop. Just forget it.
But guys-
there's no point in doing fantasy football then. At that
Guys,
point.
that's not true. Not if you sign up on DraftKings.com, because you can set up a different lineup every week. So even if 1 week you have some injuries, don't worry. You draft a whole new roster every time. And right now, they are doing this huge contest, the Millionaire Maker. You can win $2 million for first place and $1 million for second.
What?
I know. All you got to do, hurry to DraftKings.com, because technically the NFL season officially started tonight, but it's mainly talking about all the big games on Sunday. You go to DraftKings.com now, use the promo code BUZZ, and you play for free at the shot at the $2 million top prize in Week 1 Millionaire Maker. It's not your fantasy football. It's not as fantasy as usual. It's DraftKings. Enter BUZZ at DraftKings.com. Welcome to the big time. Guys, as of next week, I'm officially going to be retiring because I'm going to be $2 million richer.
You're going to win that fast?
Well, you get paid right after the games end. So you win after the Monday night game. You win. That money's in your account.
Man.
It's instantly.
May I mention that you'll be looking very handsome next Monday?
Oh,
Christian?
thank you.
Just
Thank
saying.
you. Thank you. I'll make sure to let your husband know you said that.
Well, he signed up too, so we'll
Oh,
see.
okay.
We'll see whose team is more handsome, if you know what I mean.
Hedge your bets.
We'll see. We'll see.
But you all know, if you need some fantasy football draft tips from NFL Network's Aaron Coscarelli, you can check that out on ChristyReports.com.
Ooh.
While we're plugging stuff, just want to say.
You might not win $2 million after all. You might just go down to $1 million.
Well, you know what? As soon as I'm done with this, I'm watching that interview so
Oh.
I can set my lineup.
Back
That's
up
right.
to $2 million.
That's right.
Right back to $2 million. Just don't tell anyone else about that interview, so I just have all the inside tips.
What interview?
There you go. Miz versus Cesaro, first match of the night. And again, the Raw rematch edition of SmackDown. We start with this. We had this match end in a DQ, kind of double count out on Raw, with Big Show getting involved, pissed at the Miz, and then he just knocks out Cesaro because he was there.
Why not?
Yeah. First big thing on here is the fact that Booker T is back on commentary. He is back from filming Tough Enough. Therefore, that's why Jimmy Uso's wrestling tonight, because he was commentating for the summer. Summer, as of Labor Day, kind of is over. Even though out here it's still 2,000 degrees in LA.
It's
But-
brutal.
It's like we're sitting in sweat right now because it's that hot. Was that disgusting? That was gross, wasn't it?
Disgusting but true.
I hope it's your sweat you're sitting in.
They didn't have time to clean the studio before we came in.
It's nice and cool in here, though. It's nice coming in AfterBuzz.
Well, yeah. Well, it's nice coming in here, but then as soon as we leave and go outside, we're
Yeah,
gonna
once
melt.
they cook us out, once they are just done with us and banish us.
Yes,
That's actually what
banish
they do.
us until next week.
Post-show, they banish you.
Yeah. As soon as you go off the air, you are literally thrown out the door.
Mm-hmm. And then welcome back with open arms when your show kicks back on.
Yes. Fun match between Cesaro and Miz. Cesaro continuing the story of selling the ribs that he hurt about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago against Kevin Owens. Mm-hmm. So they're playing that up. I thought Miz looked great in this match. And Cesaro is down in a seated position. Miz goes for a kick. Cesaro catches the foot, and from lying down, locks in the sharpshooter, gets Miz to tap out in a victory for the Swiss Superman, which is not something we've been able to say much of lately.
Yes, finally, a Cesaro win. That's for all of you out there, apparently.
And a Miz tap out, which seems like it should happen.
More often.
He's a cowardly heel.
That's
He
true.
should tap out. It was good to see that.
This was one of those something's got to give match, because neither of these guys have really won in a big match in a while. Mm-hmm. So you still kind of get the idea of Miz and Big Show's program is still kind of happening there. But now we're kind of in limbo. All right, so what's going on with Cesaro now? His feud with Kevin Owens has ended. What's next? Question mark. For those of you listening, Christy just drew a question mark. I'm sure you all heard that very well. She just did it again.
That's right.
Renee Young is backstage with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose.
Oh, now I'm drawing an exclamation point. Just saying.
God. Roman Reigns talks about how the idea of Jimmy Uso teaming with them was actually Ambrose's idea, and Reigns doesn't like it because he doesn't want his family involved with the Wyatts, a.k.a. my cousin's going to die tonight because of you.
He knows.
And Ambrose, I don't know how much coffee Ambrose had before this promo, but he was just jumping around like crazy.
He's excited about his movie coming out. He's been like amped all over the place doing
They didn't talk about the movie at all,
interviews
though.
No, but he just is in promo mode, and I think is like really feeling himself right now. So he thinks he's a movie star, and apparently he's loving it.
Well, the movie.
It looks good.
I hate to say it for WWE films because most of them or 99% of them look terrible. This one looks pretty good.
I bought Vendetta.
The Big Show Dean Cain movie,
Yes.
and
I haven't seen it yet, but I bought it. I got it.
well,
I'm excited.
yeah. Small victory
when
for
you when you
WWE.
watching it?
They should know that I purchased it.
Well, they are. When are you going to
Well, they
watch
should
it? Though?
also know that, I think they get a clicker like, hey, somebody bought the movie.
Confetti,
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people bought it.
A Bellabration?
a Bellabration.
Yep.
Scott's having a
I'm gonna-
Bellabration.
I'm going to go into Brie mode when I watch it. That just means I get trashed, right?
We need to know when the
Yes.
date is, when the viewing party
little
is to
slutty.
watch that.
Okay. You bad talk these movies without watching them. I'm excited. So it seems like you don't even want to watch.
Hey, if there's an invitation to come over, I will watch this movie with you.
You're welcome to come over.
All right.
It's a bit of a trek.
I know you live a little far from me.
Yeah. So, but
But maybe it's worth it.
Maybe you guys could have like a slumber party.
what?
Do like a sleepover.
Top bunk.
Yeah.
Oh, I want a top bunk.
Well, too bad. You got to call it.
Oh, but I'm gonna plug this real quick right now since we're talking about movies. I got this awesome documentary right here
Whoa.
that are awesome engineer tonight, James Frank at the Jimbo Slice. That's with 2 E's. He made about one of the most popular tag teams in the world right now, arguably the most talented tag team in the world, the Young Bucks, on their journey to a great match that they had last year with the Hardy Boys. It's called The Young Bucks 2 Sweet Journey. You can get it on highspots.com. And James, where can they also stream it?
DIYWrestling.com.
DIYWrestling.com. You could stream it, or you can just buy the full DVD yourself at High Spots. I got to view this DVD last week. I'm not just saying it because James is sitting in the room with me right now. It's actually very well done. I've known Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, for about 9 years now, and seen what they've become of themselves. It's been phenomenal. Watch that documentary. All right, James, checks in the mail, right? Cool. All right. Just want to make sure. No. So in the midst of this promo with Reigns and Ambrose super excited. Out comes Jimmy Uso, and apparently Jimmy had some of what Ambrose was having. Because he's just
Passing it around backstage.
He is, as they say, Uso crazy. Do you like what I did there?
As his new shirt.
Yeah. And he's going so nuts. Ambrose is loving it. Reigns sitting there like, what the hell is going on? Uso goes for a fist bump with Reigns, misses.
I thought he hit it.
No. I mean, that was like as weak of a hit as you could. It was like one fist here, the other fist might have just grazed the top of it.
That's how family does it.
That's how that family does it.
Let's do it.
Okay. For
Family.
those of you
That's
that
how
were
family does it.
listening,
Bros.
for those of you
Bros.
listening, you just heard a very grazed fist bump.
Yeah. A seismic shock in your ears.
I know. My body's still vibrating from the impact of that fist bump you just gave me. Paige versus Sasha. Again, rematch from Raw.
But they did more than just pull each other's hair this time.
Well, they had a good match on Raw, and
Yeah, they did.
And this match, all of a sudden, it starts, again, we were talking about the chaos from earlier. all of a sudden, all Team Bad and PCB, they're all just shoving each other, getting in each other's faces. Ref's like, no, I'm laying down the law. We have to have a match. The ghost of Teddy Long said so. So, Charlotte, Becky, you guys are out of here. Tamina, Naomi, you guys are out of here. It's 1-on-1.
Yeah. But you can't tame these ladies for long.
No. And I was kind of confused by the ending. This was a great match. They gave a good time. Paige, it looks like after Sasha slapped her, she might have got kind of like poked in the eye a little bit. So refs kind of separated them and giving Paige a second to try to recover a little bit. And then Paige just tackles Sasha and they just start brawling. This is like 12 minutes in. All of a sudden, they just roll out of the ring. They just keep brawling over and over. Refs trying to separate them. Apparently, a cameraman got caught in the midst of it because all you saw for about 20 seconds was hair.
Red and blue flying.
Then, all of a sudden, another ref ran down. Naomi and Tamina run down. Becky and Charlotte run down.
Yes.
Took forever for the bell actually ring to rule this a no contest. And it just took forever to separate the six of them. So, Charlotte's dealing with Nikki. Paige is dealing with all of Team Bad, and Becky is there.
Yes, Becky was also there.
Yeah. So...
But it was a cool brawl.
No, it was a very cool brawl. It was a very well done brawl.
Yeah.
My question is, where's it...
Those brawls.
They don't. No, you're right.
And
but my question is, where's it going to? Because if you already have Charlotte and Nikki separate for the season premiere of Raw this Monday, every year they do that. Every year I hate it. How is it a season premiere if there are never reruns? But you got that happening, but then you're billing this thing over here too.
Well, because the problem at first was that there wasn't any individual rivalries and it was getting too muddled with just the teams. So now that we've got Sasha Paige and Charlotte Nikki going, they don't want us to forget about, PCB versus Team Bella versus Team Bad. They still got to keep that going. That is the Divas Revolution. So they got to give us both, and they're giving them the time. And when the crazy stuff like this happens, we like that. I mean, it was like a street fight. I felt like I was literally watching the Divas like get angry and throw down with each other.
Oh yeah,
And that's what I want to see. Yeah.
Yeah, it was exciting. They were pulling each other back. It was only weird in thinking when you see the brawls like that for the guys that the rest of the locker room comes out and separates them, and there's like 3 other divas back there.
Yeah,
And
3 or
it's
4.
like, well,
the others are Team Bella, so they're not going to get involved.
right.
That's true.
But it was still cool to see. It made it feel like it meant a whole lot.
Right. And that's the one question I have. It did look like it meant a lot. It was very well done. I enjoyed every second of it. I am more interested in this than I am in Nikki versus Charlotte.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But that's the problem, because that's where the title is. And we'll get into that a little more later, because we see said women's champ, or Divas champ, a little later on.
But that was a cool segment.
It was
really
a very,
was.
very cool segment. Very well done by all 6 divas and the 2 refs.
Yeah.
Got to give them some love, too.
Props, guys.
Then we get a long recap from Raw of Rollins' not-so-good night, involving 1, losing a Ryback, thanks to distraction from Sting, and then him losing his 6-man tag match when he teamed with New Day against Primetime Players and Cena, and then Sting destroying his statue. Byron Saxton's backstage with Rollins, saying that Monday was the lowest point of his career thanks to Sting, and he requested a lumberjack match tonight against Ryback so everyone in the locker room can see the only reason Ryback beat me on Raw was because of Sting. And and then a little later on, he's interrupted by Sheamus. Sheamus saying, "Don't you mean you have 3 matches on Sunday night when you're winning all that stuff?" However, the key thing that I need to bring up is in this promo, Chrissy's pointing at me in agreement. I don't know if she even knows that what I'm about to say, but we'll go with
It's
it.
going to be good. I can just tell.
All right. Seth Rollins mentions that he's going to defeat Cena after he defeats Sting, which is implying that the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match would happen before the United States Championship match.
Which is outlandish.
It's crazy.
You rolled your eyes when you said that.
Just to reiterate the outlandishness, not to be sarcastic about it and unreiterate it.
Well, I guess my question is, why would
that
they... I'm rolling with it. I guess my question is, why would they do that? If that is what they end up doing, why would they have the WWE World Heavyweight title happen before the United States Championship match?
I think Rollins is just talking out of his butt.
What?
Jim
Carrey's
that's the
gonna
thing,
be
right?
furious.
He's just
Yeah, that
not
was
shutting
his-
up.
that was his
He's just
role.
not
Yeah.
shutting up.
I would assume
Stealing his shtick.
I would assume the only reason this would happen is that this happened a lot in the Attitude Era when they switched around the title matches and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the crowd goes home happy, majority. So it's if Cena were to win at the end.
Right, but then wouldn't that make the United States Championship look more prestigious than the WWE World Heavyweight Championship?
Because Cena holds it, yes.
But
I mean,
But it's
that's,
not.
That's just a theory.
right.
I know nothing.
There's
I
other
didn't read
buzz.
the dirt
There's other
sheets.
buzz that
No,
backs that out
no,
there.
no, Scott and I don't read
they're
the
with
dirt
you on
sheets.
that one.
No, I just don't read them because I don't want everything spoiled. I like knowing all the weird rumors and gossip and stuff. That's why I'm glad there's a new segment on this show.
Yes, we're going to get into it shortly. We'll get to it. Christy's like, I
excited.
can't wait.
Well, they were saying that John Cena has some merchandise coming out that would suggest that maybe is a good theory.
He has merchandise coming out?
A new John Cena T-shirt.
Thank you.
Everybody.
You know, it's
What is
been-
that, like the third shirt?
I
or
was going to
fourth
say,
shirt?
it's been way too long. The guy does not get enough merch.
I know.
He's been on TV enough.
Maybe that's what you got to do. You've only made one shirt. You
I have
gotta
2
make-
shirts.
You have to have 55.
Yeah, you got to make like 55 shirts every 2 weeks.
They only give me a limit of 4 on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Tell them the Cena
noticed that.
plan, that you know the Cena plan, and wink at them.
All right, guys. Well, first off, I do have my Rosenberg Above Hate shirt that you can get on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Sure.
/ Christian Rosenberg.
How about you can see me?
There we go.
You can see me every week on AfterBuzz TV. You know,
you
that
can see
might
me.
be another one I should do. Guys, make me some more logos. I guess if you're all gonna buy them, buy these other shirts I got on the website first, and then go buy those ones too. So I can still remember. I still got those damn surgery bills.
Hustle, loyalty, fantasy football.
Yep.
Oh,
I like
nice.
it. I like it.
Nice. I
This-
actually have a
this
whole
happening.
list here of knockoff T-shirt ideas.
Okay. What else we got?
Me mode.
Meme mode. Okay.
Win magic instead of twin magic, but you just do 2 like silhouettes of girls.
Okay.
It probably wouldn't be enough of a copyright infringement,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Shut Tup. They don't have that one
Shut Tup?
copyrighted. Yeah.
I don't get that one. Shut Tup.
Lana.
Lana.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, she
And I
doesn't. shouldn't
have
done that
2
in a
other
while.
ones too, but I'm gonna keep those myself
Yeah.
Okay.
because they're
Pocket.
real money makers.
Making sure this is the original Rosebud.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Or would that be bad?
Hey, it's your shirt, man.
All right. We'll see. Guys, make me designs and buy my other shirts. Because I have no artistic skills at all, so I can't design them. I hire people to design my shirts because I don't know how.
But that's why they look so freaking cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They do. They do. That's like the one I'm wearing right now. Back to the show. That was a real long plug. Thank you, guys. ProWrestlingTees.com / Christian Rosenberg. New Day versus Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Jimmy Uso. Xavier Woods had his trombone hiding by the timekeeper. I thought the Raw moment that he had was going to be kind of a one-time amazing thing. Nope. It was so over. We did it again on SmackDown, and it was just as good.
He's just got too much amazingness to keep it in.
What I'm impressed on, this guy actually has some musical talent. I mean, he's not doing a whole lot of stuff on the trombone,
It's enough.
but it's clear, it's good pitch. And if you've seen his or Big E's Instagram, Xavier can carry a tune. He can actually he can sing a little bit too. They're doing this big thing for pediatric cancer awareness, where they're doing all these things to say like they can't stop dancing. So New Day they were challenged by Natalia to do it, and they started dancing to "Kiss from a Rose" by Seal, and Xavier Woods was singing along quite well, surprisingly.
Wow.
Dang, watch out, Seal.
Yes, watch out, Seal. Xavier Woods is taking over. But yeah, it's
How have I not seen any of that? I feel like I religiously
You're-
follow all
you're
these
obsessed
people
with
on the
social media.
I know. It's mostly the divas.
oh, okay. So Jimmy Uso was like a rabid dog.
Mailing it in.
Yeah, he was just like,
He's like, whatever. I'd rather be talking at a desk.
The dude was just like, have you ever had a dog that, say, you left for a long time for the day and you kept it, just like in a crate in the house so it doesn't make a mess? I know this because this is what my family does back home.
To you?
To me.
Growing up?
Yep.
That's terrible.
Yep.
Well, we can't let him make a mess.
But
Oh my God.
I'm a pretty messy person. But then when all of a sudden,
You get let out?
when they get home, you get super excited. Oh, I'm going to get let out. I'm going to get let out. I'm going to get let out. And then they open it and you're free and you just go nuts. That's what happened to Jimmy Uso when he got tagged into this match.
I don't know this from personal experience, but sounds terrible. If you need the number of a therapist, we can.
No, it's how I mean once
he just watches wrestling.
Once I escaped, then I just was free, and all that stress, all that anger from being locked up, went away.
We should call that doctor that helped out Daniel Bryan and Kane so much.
Dr. Shelby.
Yeah, Dr. Shelby.
Dr. Shelby.
Dr. Shelby could help you out.
Hi, Dr. Shelby.
Wrestling's wonderful, isn't it? So Jimmy, as the end of this match, about to hit his Uso splash for the win. Xavier Woods is out. Lights go out. Lights come back on. And Jimmy is gone. She's like, where is he?
Go?
And at the top of the ramp, there's the Wyatts with Strowman choking out Uso in whatever that move is that he's been doing. Reigns and Ambrose beat up from their about 15-minute match, start trying to make their way up the ramp. Lights go out again. Lights come back on. Wyatts are gone. And Uso is just knocked out on top of the ramp. And then you hear Wyatt's creepy voice saying, "They all will fall." Or they all fall down. I messed it up. Damn it. Damn
you
it.
did it wrong.
I was trying to be
Page.
I was trying to be all smart and not read my notes when I did that, and I really should have.
Here, let's
Clearly.
save it. Let's save it.
Okay.
I have a question for you both.
Okay.
So how does this exist? So Uso's at the top of the turnbuckle, about ready to do a move. Does Strowman run at lightning speed, grab him, and take him to the top of the ramp to choke him out? Or do the lights go out and Uso jumps all the way over to Strowman and immediately get choked out? What happened?
I was wondering that too.
Here's my theory.
Does Bray have the force
No,
and pulled him over?
my theory is Jimmy Uso is a very athletic human being. We've seen him fly over the top ropes.
Oh, yeah.
True that.
Uso is very crazy. One thing a lot of people don't realize about Jimmy Uso is he has natural night vision goggles in his eyes. So all of a sudden when the lights went out, he was concerned as far as what's going on. He looked to the side. He saw the Wyatts up top there, and he's like, "Not on my watch," and tried to jump at him. Unfortunately, he got caught.
Right. Is that your theory as well?
Oh, I'm
Do you
so
have
glad that Christian explained it. Cause
Okay.
I mean,
I
it's
didn't
not-
know if you had a
I
different
didn't.
theory.
No. I had no
Hold on,
idea.
hold on, hold on.
I didn't know what to think.
Wait. It's not a theory. It's science.
Ah,
Oh, right.
So, you're welcome, everybody.
take that, Damien Sandow.
Yes. Lucha Dragons versus the Ascension with Stardust. So last week we saw this, and then Monday Night Raw we thought it was erased
Yep.
because the Ascension were just in the ring, no intro, lost in 2 minutes,
Jobbing it up out there.
and Stardust is calling the Ascension his archangels, and Stardust distracted Kalisto, which eventually led to the Ascension hitting the Fall of Man and getting the win in about 2 minutes. And even when the Ascension debuted against jobber teams, I think it took them longer to beat them than they just beat the Lucha Dragons. Mm-hmm. Compared to what happened on Raw, this was night and day. I'm excited for them. I just hope they keep going on Raw, and it's not just, we'll get crushed on Raw and we'll do well on SmackDown.
Right, because we wanted to see more of it even tonight, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the beatdown continued after where Neville then ran out to make the save. And this is just screaming kickoff match for Night of Champions of Neville, Lucha Dragons versus Stardust and Ascension. Obviously, that's just a complete guess, but you
The
would think...
Lucha Rockers? Those outfits, huh?
Yes.
You know, the funny thing is, Christy was going nuts about the outfits on the show, and she did not bring it up at all. It was Scott who brought it up.
That's right.
They look like Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels back in the 90s.
With masks.
That's what it was. Mm-hmm.
They really look like the
The
Rockers.
lime green. It was like it was either like tiger or zebra or some combination of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Glitter. But they weren't the only ones. Paige had new gear. Ryback had new gear tonight.
Yeah,
I don't know why on Random Tuesday.
Christy
but-
was on top of the fashion tonight.
Yeah, they got budget. Everybody got a little bonus. Maybe
know.
some action figure money.
I mean,
for the new season, maybe.
Whoa.
Yeah, getting ready for the season premiere.
Somebody's
walked in.
gonna turn heel or face.
I
at
walked
some
in
point
with my
outfits?
lovely, Christian Rosenberg T-shirt, which you get at ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg. Christy complimented that as well.
That's a long address. It's a long web address.
ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg.
And Christy commented as well.
That's not part of the website.
Oh wow, I'm confused. You said it all so fast.
I forgot to verbally put a comma in. My apologies.
Okay.
But speaking of tag teams, that's going to lead us to our segment, our new segment we debuted last week called
Believe that.
where Christy decides to read us an item from the dirt sheets. I constantly go on record saying I despise the dirt sheets. I don't think they should exist, but everyone loves reading them.
It's like a love-hate. It's like Sam and Diane. You hate, but yet you love.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah.
So Christy found a story. She has not told either Scott or myself whatever the story is, and we're either going to be like, oh, maybe this is true, or I hope you have like the name of the person who wrote it, because then we can verbally make fun of them. What do you got?
Well, even I questioned this one, so you guys.
So
have
we
to
know
tell
it's
me-
got to be accurate.
Tell me what you think about this. The dirt sheets, as you call them, are proposing that there is a possible Hardy Boys return to the WWE on the horizon. Now, they have a lot of very credible reasons for thinking this, including because actually Jeff Hardy was mentioned on TV recently, and usually they refrain from mentioning the Hardy Boys.
True.
And they brought them up in the little segment that Edge and Christian had with the Dudleys on Raw. Also, WWE put out a Twitter poll, and they've been doing that actually for the last while, and the Hardy Boys have been one of the options for fans to vote on if they want the Hardy Boys to come back. So clearly this is 120% happening, and we have many reasons to believe so. I'm kidding.
I would love it to happen. This is kind of similar on the same boat of last week where you're talking about with Mysterio. Mm-hmm. I mean, to my understanding, both of them are in the middle of other contracts right now.
Right.
So that would prevent them from doing such a thing. However, it would make sense if the Dudleys are back, you try to set up at least one more big match between the Dudleys and the Hardys. Do I think that's happening anytime soon? No. Would I like to see it? Of course. Mm-hmm. It would also be kind of cool, to see, those teams kind of pass torch again. I'm all for those guys coming back and passing the torches. I just don't like them necessarily being the champions or in title matches.
That's right. You don't like that.
I'm not a huge fan of it. It depends if it's built up right. I mean, honestly, the way the Dudleys have been building this up the last few weeks with the New Day, I can watch this one, and I think it'll be a good match. Next week we'll do our predictions, so you'll find out what I think then.
Yes.
But the New Day has to get by the primetime players first on the season premiere of Raw this Monday.
Woo!
But as far as Hardys coming back, of course WWE fans want them because they see them in all the videos and all the history. Oh, these are the crazy guys who jumped off ladders. Mm-hmm. Even the young kids are like,
They
I
started
know
that
guy.
stuff, right?
Oh yeah, them, Edge and Christian and the Dudleys.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then there was the acolytes who were with them as well. I mean, those were just the guys who just beat the crap out of people. Mm-hmm. And it was just a great. They don't get enough credit because you hear all about Edge and Christian, Hardys and Dudleys.
Right.
You don't hear enough about the APA, and they were right there with them all too. Mm-hmm. Just a whole different style, and that's what helped it even more because you had those other teams. You had Hardcore and Crash Holly. You had the New Age Outlaws. You had the APA. You had all these other guys that could tell different types of stories, along with those great storytellers that literally were human daredevils. Mm-hmm. As opposed to a non-human daredevil, apparently. Scott, what are your thoughts on this?
I try and keep up on a lot of different stuff, so I have seen the Hardys and Dudleys fight recently
Oh.
in other companies, and they did have big ladder, crazy. They called them Full Metal Mayhem matches. Mm-hmm. So that was everything. They tore the house down.
Yeah. They still can.
Yeah, and I love seeing them. I don't want to necessarily see them come back and just be in the most destructive matches possible, as we saw Edge and Christian on Stone Cold's podcast, who are now retired because of matches like this. So I don't know. Unless there's I always hope there's a spot for him. I know the chat roll's going crazy about Jeff Hardy going, only if he behaves, but he's made it very public that he's got a daughter now, and he's really cleaned up since. Like, he is... That really straightened out his life. That there was someone else to live for and provide for, which I think is awesome. It'd be great if he could tell that final chapter of his story through the WWE.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's anytime soon, but it'd be exciting.
Yeah. And you guys listening, we'll get your thoughts. You could always leave them on the comments of the YouTube page, but we'll keep moving on with SmackDown. We got a couple more segments here. We got Renee Young is backstage with Nikki Bella, the Divas champion, where this Monday night, and I don't know what the exact time is, but Monday night, after Raw goes off the air, Nikki would officially pass AJ Lee for the longest reigning Divas champion in history if she beats Charlotte, which will happen before that. And Nikki talks about that Charlotte is jealous of her. And
duh.
Because she's just so awesome and amazing, and she's been the champion. And I'm just like the bee's knees. She didn't actually say that, but it would have been cool if she did. She gets interrupted by Charlotte, and Charlotte says, you're going to make history on Monday. You're going to become the woman who almost became the longest reigning Divas champion. Who?
Well, and haven't they all almost been the champion, almost been the longest? Like, it was a silly line. Just saying. Anyway.
And that's the thing, because our reaction to this is kind of my reaction, because they just kind of threw this match in. Mm-hmm. All right, Charlotte won to beat the clock not this past Monday, but the week before. Now she's getting a title shot tonight. They should have done this. They should have done that beat the clock a few weeks earlier, so they could have built this up more and more and more. They should have announced a match to happen tonight at Champions, and then be like, oh, no, wait. We're going to push it to the season premiere of Raw. Because then there's the risk of the record not being broken. Mm-hmm. And that would have got us more excited in this match. The problem is, as we've talked about on all the AfterBuzz wrestling shows, is that Nikki really hasn't had a main feud for the title in freaking forever. Mm-hmm. The closest thing really has been Paige.
Well, she's only defended the title 9 times this whole year. So
is that really it?
That's it.
On TV?
On TV.
She's probably done that at some house shows.
Right.
Well, to be fair, there was a great meme that went out about, it's that South Park, the guy playing Warcraft, sitting back at the computer. And it's when Dean Ambrose had the U.S. title, he hardly defended it. But that was the coolest thing ever because he was holding on to it forever.
A lot of people thought it was really cool. I know I was on here being like, when are you defending the damn title?
Right.
But I know what you're saying. A lot of people thought it was so cool that he never had to defend it.
Yeah, that was awesome. And yeah, let him break records. And then the second that Nikki has it, it's like, whoa, take it off or defend it. Quick, fix all this.
Right.
So they're obviously building up to something. If she breaks the record, everybody hates her way, way, way more. And then whoever beats her is just the best.
Right. Mm-hmm. And you bring up earlier today, and I don't have the guy's name in front of me, and I apologize for that. But if you go on Bleacher Report,
Virgil.
If you go to Virgil's Bleacher Report, no, not Virgil.
He has all the time to write.
That man is insane. If you go on Bleacher Report, someone wrote a column earlier today about why Nikki should break the record, and even though
that I saw and didn't read. Really, we're gonna sit here and talk about the one article on the website that I didn't really.
This isn't a dirty thing. It's not like, oh, here's a rumor going on. This is just someone's opinion.
Okay. So that's okay.
Yeah, we're saying our opinions here, and people are listening to it.
I thought we were saying science.
I did that earlier with Jimmy Uso.
I don't follow.
Oh, that was with Jimmy Uso. This is different.
All right.
Either way, y'all are gonna learn something.
But
I might not.
But so. What he was talking about was, and again, I want Charlotte to be here on Raw, but what he was saying, I can kind of understand the argument to an extent, because he was talking about, well, Nikki by far to to diehard fans, is the most hated female right now because of her little promos just saying she's the one who started the revolution when clearly there are women that are better wrestlers than her, and she's not defending the title, so it's getting under people's skin, and they don't want her to beat AJ's record, someone who would defend the title constantly and a very good athlete. So by doing so, in a way, she's doing what she's supposed to be doing as a heel. Now, the one problem with this is every week. 1 week she's a heel, 1 week she's a face. 1 week she's a heel, 1 week she's a face. But then there's always also the aspect of the chase. Yes, you've had the Divas division been chasing her forever to try to get the title off her. But you really haven't had that one big feud for someone to finally take her out for the huge celebration. So this guy was saying that, if Charlotte does beat her on Raw, it'll be a big moment, crowd will be very happy, but it might not have necessarily the long-term effects that it would have if this was going on for, say, a few months. That I can agree with. That said, I still want Charlotte to win on Monday.
Well, no, that's a great point. That's all is totally legitimate. That being said, I would prefer that Nikki keep her title.
Oh.
At least for now. I mean, obviously she's not going to keep it for much longer after she breaks the record.
We got one-on-one here. What do you want on Raw?
I don't know. I really don't know. I want to be surprised. That's what I want. I want to be surprised.
I can respect that.
Can I give? I know we're about to get into the main event of tonight, but can I give a crazy prediction for Raw?
Yes, please do.
Okay.
Sure.
Crazy. We don't need the prediction
Your
cue.
After
Oh, but there it goes.
TV prediction.
It's not really a full
Mandated.
prediction.
You say the word.
No,
It's got to be played.
no, it is. I would not be surprised if somehow the match ends in a DQ. So Nikki,
They end up in a Dairy Queen.
they end up in a Dairy Queen.
Jim Cornette comes out.
Cookie dough blizzard.
Yeah, and so Charlotte wins the match, but Nikki's still a champion, and she breaks the record.
Dusty finish, where you think Charlotte wins, but really Nikki's still the champ.
You heard that from James as well. The classic Dusty finish. When that could very well happen. I wouldn't be... I mean, the way Paige has been losing on Raw lately, she could just throw a temperature and accidentally cost Charlotte the match. I mean, there are a bunch of different options.
I would believe that. Just saying.
Wow. Wow. We already did your segment.
That was more of a comment about Paige than
Oh, okay.
about anything else.
Main event, lumberjack match. Ryback versus Seth Rollins. The main highlight of the first segment of this match was the fact that Ryback took out my buddy Bo Dallas.
Hold on. Heath Slater was out there.
He was, and so was Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
So was Fandango.
Yeah.
So was Mark Henry.
And Adam Rose's glasses.
Adam Rose with his glasses.
Fandango had a new hairstyle.
Christy
This is the first
especially
time we've
noticed
seen
that.
Axel not being Hulk Axel. What the
Who?
fuck? Whatever Curtis Axel.
Curtis Axel not
We haven't
being
seen him since
Axelmania.
he's not Axelmania anymore.
Curtis Axel not being blonde.
Not being Axelmania.
I don't know who that's
right,
in reference
okay.
to. I'm confused.
Yeah.
Scott
Sorry to
hates
throw you a curveball.
Scott hates it when I do that.
CM Punk, Hulk Hogan.
Who
CM Punk, Hulk Hogan.
is
They're,
that?
AJ Lee.
they're both fighting each other in UFC.
That sounds like a code for some video game.
Oh, if only.
This match, I know lumberjack matches are generally giant clusters. This one seemed over the top. There was a lot of brawling. And again, by the way, rematch from Raw.
Wait a minute. You were upset when watching this because you're going like, oh, everybody fought each other before. Now they're not fighting each other. And then you're going like, oh, then it turned into a big old brawl.
No. Hold on. Let me clarify that. What I was talking about was like the segment before this, Stardust and the Ascension ran away from Neville and the Lucha Dragons. Now all of a sudden they're across the ring from each other and they're not going after each other. Now the brawls are happening just because they're lumberjacks and they just brawl all together. That usually just happens like maybe once towards the end of the match. This happened just several times.
Yeah. There's issues.
I liked it. Yes. These boys have some drama. They need their own reality show, apparently.
They have it. It's called Monday Night Raw.
Oh, wow. Touche.
And then the one interesting thing, and I mean, I didn't catch us onto this until like the last few minutes of the match, was watching all the lumberjacks constantly running around, brawling, tripping people up, etc. Kevin Owens was not moving. He was just sitting in the corner. just
his
watching.
time.
Saving his energy.
Yeah. He didn't have a match tonight. He was just chilling. Easy night for him.
He needed a night off.
I know. Seriously, talk about like the SmackDown after SummerSlam. That dude had like 20-minute matches 5 nights in a row.
Quick question from Joseph Ortiz in the chat roll. Was Sandow on there? Did we see Sandow at all?
I did not see Sandow.
No.
Yeah, I didn't see him either.
No, and we were looking pretty closely.
Yeah. Matadors are not out there? That's another issue we got to think of from Raw, but we'll get into that next
that's
week.
perfect.
Oh, yes.
Sandow could be the new El Torito.
Or he is El Torito.
Oh, Damien Torito Dow.
Yeah, that's just science. So Miho closed on by Ryback, sets up for the shell shock, but that's when Owens grabs Ryback's foot, trips him up. Rollins hits the pedigree, gets the win. Owens walks away, kind of proud of himself and what he did to Ryback. We're building this up. They're doing a pretty good job with not much time. Got to announce the match on Monday. But that's how SmackDown goes off the air this week. A lot of stuff. Well, a lot of rematches, but a lot of good matches overall. A lot of brawling. And now we just got to get everything ready for next week to prepare for the Night of Champions.
Ta-da!
And an interesting, someone tweeted me a photo of the poster. Now, I don't know if this was a Photoshop one or not. But someone tweeted me and said, like, wait, what about this? Because on the Night of Champions poster, it's got everyone holding titles. And at the back of it was Finn Balor with the NXT title. But nothing's been said or anything, so I'm guessing it was just a Photoshop. But if not, that'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I've
And it
not
would
seen
make
that
sense.
poster. I've only seen the poster with Sting on it.
Yeah, I've seen that one too. So
That's the one hanging in the authority's office?
That is
so
true.
That's legit.
That's true, and everything
No
in there is
Photoshop
legit.
there.
You know, just like those like muscle fitness magazine covers that they have framed in there, as well as Kane's mask, which we have not seen recently in the office. Foreshadowing for something.
Oh, maybe he already
point.
stole it?
Maybe he's teaming with Reigns and Ambrose.
That'd be cool.
That actually would make sense.
That'd be cool.
You may be onto something there.
It's science.
You say
been
enough.
done.
You say enough stuff. Eventually, you get some right.
Yeah, I just talk enough. Once in a while, one of the things I say is going to be accurate.
I said it in there, minute 35 when I was talking. It's in there.
Yep. All right. So that's how SmackDown's going to wrap up for this week. Guys, make sure you keep the conversation going on the YouTube page. And, of course, you can talk to us on the various platforms of social media. Christy Olson, how can people reach out to you?
Oh, I love it when people tweet me at Christy Reports. Please also follow Christy Reports on Instagram and check out ChristyReports.com for some juicy exclusive interviews. Good stuff.
Oh, it's juicy even.
It's juicy stuff.
Scott Narver.
You can chat with me on Twitter at Curtain Jerks, and you can listen to my comedy wrestling podcast, Curtain Jerks, available on iTunes and SoundCloud. This week's episode, you can tweet me about it if you want to know what's on there. I don't think I should say here, but it's outrageous and it's a fun one.
Now I have to
Curiosity
listen to it. Yeah. And you can follow me on Twitter at Will Rosenberg, Instagram at the Will Rosenberg. And I'm going to start plugging this for the next several weeks. October 3rd, the Insane Wrestling League presents New Era 10 on iPay-per-view and on your Roku devices. I call the action there. Guys like Paul London will be there, Joey Ryan, amongst many others. You can, and including our engineer James Frank, who's the head cameraman there as well.
Nice.
You can go to theiwl.com for all the order and information on that. Thanks so much for tuning in this week. For Christy Olson and Scott Narver, I am Christian Rosenberg, and we will see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. Buy my shirt.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.